Hi, I'm Don Currie, Chief Instructor of the NSCA, here to talk about how to adjust an adjustable comb gun based on what you see on the patterning board. An adjustable comb is a great invention. If your gun didn't come with one from the factory, you can have one put in for as little as $300 to $500, even if you have to adjust the length of pull at the same time. It's well worth it as compared to a new stock, which is going to cost you anywhere between $3,500 and $4,200 depending on the quality of the wood that you get. So this is an adjustable comb I have in front of me, actually a Currie MX8, and this has a built-in adjustable comb, and most adjustable combs come with the ability to change the height, okay, or the drop-it comb, okay, as well as the cast, so the cast left or right. This particular version, Currie puts the cast adjuster in the comb itself, so I can adjust these back and forth based on what I'm seeing on the patterning board, okay? And then I can put the adjustable comb back on, and I can put it at whatever height I like, whether it's a little bit of drop-it comb, a lot of drop-it comb, whatever the case may be. So let's talk about what this is going to look like on the patterning board and how you should set yourself up to pattern a shotgun with an adjustable comb, and then go to your adjustments. So ideally you should position yourself at a good patterning board, grease boards are the best, about 16 paces or 16 yards away from the patterning board. Why 16 yards? Well, I'll tell you in a minute, but basically that's the magical distance for corresponding distances on the adjustable comb. So I would go ahead and position myself 16 yards away from the patterning board, and I'd go ahead and take 2 or 3 good shots at a point of aim on the patterning board. And when I'm executing that shot on the patterning board, I want to make sure that I'm looking only at the patterning board, that I'm not trying to aim, I'm not looking at the barrel, I'm just throwing that gun up and looking at nice smooth mount, looking at the point of aim on the patterning board, executing the shot. Then we go down to the patterning board and we look and take a look at where the pattern actually impacted. And most important is, where is the center of the pattern? So just draw a little circle around the pattern and put a little dot as to where the center of the pattern is. That's what you want to look at. If the center of the pattern is too far to the left, this is a right-handed shooter now, if the center of the pattern is too far to the left, that means our eye is too far away from the gun. So I'm going to need a little more cast to get my eye over the center of the rib. If my shot pattern is too far to the right, that means my eye is coming in too far to the right of the gun, so I need a little less cast, or cast on rather than cast off. Okay, so that's how to adjust the cast. Essentially, at 16 yards, the heel, 1/16 of an inch at the heel is equal to 1 inch on the patterning board. So if I have a pattern that looks really nice height-wise, so I got about a 60-40 distribution, 60% of the pellets above the horizontal line or point of aim, 40% below, but I'm about 2 inches left. In an ideal world, I'm going to be moving my adjustable comb about a 1/16 to 2/16 to the right to bring that pattern into my point of aim. Same thing would be true if I had a pattern that's 2 inches to the right. If I had a pattern that's 2 inches to the right of my center, good distribution, 60-40, I'd want to bring my comb approximately 2 inches into the left or toward the face, cast on. Approximately 2/16 in is what I'd bring the comb to equal 2 inches on the patterning board. Now that's not always exact, and sometimes it can be a little bit less, because obviously you don't have your face against the heel, you have it against the comb a little bit further up, so it might be half of that. So that's why you want to adjust the comb and then go ahead and pattern your shotgun again. As far as heighted comb, we've talked about cast. Now how about heighted comb? The most important element of comb height is to make sure that your eye is above the rib. If the eye is not above the rib, you'll not be seeing the target through the break point. If your eye is below the rib, in fact, your non-shooting eye will pick up the target rather than your shooting eye. So we want to make sure, empty gun, we want to make sure that our eye, when we are fully mounted and properly mounted, that our eye is well above the rib. And in an ideal world, your iris, the whole colored part of your eye, is set right on top, is seated right on top of the rib like a marble on a table, okay? Now how would we adjust the rib? You might have noticed that when I pulled this gun up that my eye was a little high on the gun, so we're gonna lower the, or increase the drop at comb, okay? So as to get my eye in the right place. We're going to sort of take a visual look at it, but we're also going to make sure we pattern in the patterning board to make sure that it looks right. And this looks pretty good from behind the gun. I see my snowman there with the mid-rib just underneath the front rib. So I see a little bit of rib. I do see a little bit of runway. A lot of shooters think that in shotgunning, we want to be flat on the rib. We want to see those beads lined up. And that's really not correct. And what will happen if you fit your gun or adjustable comb so that you're flat on the rib, what will happen is you'll end up losing some targets down behind the barrel that are transitioning at the break point. So a target that's descending at the break point, that's very likely to get underneath your barrel, drop below your line of sight, and miss over the top of those targets. So we hope you've learned something about adjusting an adjustable comb. They're a great invention, much less expensive than a custom stock, and we look forward to seeing you at some of our other segments on gun fit and shooting. I'm Don Currie, Chief Instructor of the NSCA. Thank you.